You are lying in bed, lights off, eyes closed. And then it starts. You replay a conversation from 3 years ago. You imagine telling your boss exactly what you think of him. You picture a version of yourself that never made that one mistake. You script an entire argument with someone who is not even in the room. Nobody asked your brain to do this. You did not choose it, but every single night it happens anyway. And here is the strange part. You actually enjoy it. Why? Because your brain is not wasting time. It is doing something it was built to do. Something ancient. Something that kept your ancestors alive long before beds even existed. And once you understand what is actually happening up there, you will never fall asleep the same way again. Your brain has one job above everything else. Survival. Not happiness, not creativity. Survival. And the single biggest threat to survival is not knowing what is coming next. Uncertainty is the enemy. Always has been. So your brain developed a solution. It runs simulations. Constantly, it takes real situations from your life and plays them forward. What could happen, what might go wrong, what you should say, what you should do. It is a prediction machine running dress rehearsals for your real life. And when does it do this most intensely? Right before you fall asleep, when the lights go off, when the noise stops, when there is nothing left to distract it. That is when your brain finally gets uninterrupted time to run its simulations at full power. Those fake scenarios before bed are not random. They are targeted. Your brain picks the situations that matter most to you, the unresolved ones, the ones with uncertain outcomes, the relationships that feel unstable, the conversations that did not go the way you wanted, the opportunities you have not taken yet. Your brain is obsessed with unfinished business. There is actually a name for this. Psychologists call it the Zeigarnik effect. Your brain holds on to incomplete things far more powerfully than completed ones. The moment something is resolved, your brain lets it go. But unresolved things, they stay active. They keep running in the background like an open tab you forgot to close. And at night when everything goes quiet, all those open tabs open at once. Here is where it gets really interesting. Those scenarios you play out, the perfect comeback you never said, the version of events where you made the right choice, your brain does not fully know the difference between imagining something and actually doing it. Think about that for a second. When you visualize giving a speech with total confidence, your brain activates the same neural pathways it would use if you were actually giving that speech. When you imagine the confrontation going perfectly, your brain processes it as a real experience. The stress response activates. The emotions are real. The learning is real. You are literally practicing in your bed with your eyes closed, and your brain treats it like it happened. This is why athletes visualize before competition. This is why surgeons mentally rehearse procedures before they perform them. Your brain before bed is doing the exact same thing, automatically without anyone telling it to, because this is what brains do. But there is a darker side to this. Sometimes the scenarios your brain runs are not rehearsals for success. They are rehearsals for disaster. You imagine the worst possible outcome of that email you sent. You picture the conversation going catastrophically wrong. You play out every way the thing you are scared of could actually happen. This feels terrible, but it is not your brain malfunctioning. It is your brain being extremely thorough. From an evolutionary perspective, the ancestor who imagined everything that could go wrong and prepared for it was far more likely to survive than the one who assumed everything would be fine. The pessimistic simulation was the safe simulation, the one that kept you alive. So your brain inherited a bias toward negative scenarios, not because it wants you to suffer, because it wants you to be ready. The problem is your brain cannot always tell the difference between a real threat and an imagined one. A saber-toothed tiger and an awkward email from your manager trigger the same ancient alarm system. And so at 11 p.m., you are lying in bed running full survival simulations about a meeting that might not even happen. Your body responds as if it is real. Heart rate increases slightly, muscles tighten, cortisol rises. Your brain is fully activated, preparing for something that exists only in your own head. And here is the twist. The more important something feels to you, the more your brain will simulate it. Relationships, career, identity. The things that define who you are and where you belong. Those are the scenarios your brain returns to again and again. Not because something is wrong with you, because your brain has correctly identified what matters most. Those late-night scenarios about what you should have said to someone you care about, that is your brain telling you that relationship matters. Those scenarios where you imagine finally succeeding at something you have been afraid to try, that is your brain mapping the path, building the neural road before you walk it. There is one more thing nobody talks about. The scenarios that feel the most satisfying before bed, the ones where everything goes perfectly, where you say exactly the right thing, where the world finally sees you the way you see yourself, those feel good for a reason. Your brain releases small amounts of dopamine during positive visualization, the reward chemical, the same one that fires when something actually good happens. Your brain rewards itself for running optimistic simulations, because optimism increases the chance you will actually try, and trying increases the chance you will survive. So the fantasy before bed is not escapism. It is motivation chemistry. Your brain is literally drugging itself with tiny doses of reward to push you toward the future it is simulating. You are not daydreaming. You are being programmed. The next time you catch yourself lying in bed scripting a conversation that will never happen or imagining a version of your life that does not exist yet, that is not weakness. That is not anxiety. That is not a waste of time. That is your brain doing the most human thing it knows how to do. Running the simulation, preparing for the world, practicing the version of you that it is still trying to build. The lights go off, the world goes quiet, and your brain gets to work. It has been doing this every single night for your entire life. And it will not stop, because somewhere deep in your biology, it still believes the right simulation might save you.